Welcome. On this channel, we tell mysterious stories, twisted true crime stories, and paranormal stories. But sometimes, like the story today, there's nothing better than an unsolved mystery. So I want you to imagine that one day you woke up in a dark space, cramped and couldn't move. My question to you is, would you panic? What's going on, everybody? Thank you for joining me at Mystery Files. I appreciate all of you, and the winner of the giveaway will be pinned tomorrow on the community post, so make sure to check that out. But today I got a really good unsolved mystery for you guys. It's a long time coming. I got a lot of these in the clip, about to just start releasing them. So without any further ado, as of now, make sure to find the clue. It's time to slip into a mind that's not our own. Let's go. Did you know that in Japan, the bathroom is a realm of unexplicable terror? Whispers of unsettling superstitions that spread like wildfire, making even the most mundane trips to the toilet an unnerving experience. And amongst these legends lies Amamanto. I hope I said that right. A malevolent spirit who lurks in public restrooms waiting for unsuspecting victims. And if you dare enter his domain and find yourself without toilet paper, Amamanto will offer you a sinister choice: red or blue paper. But beware, because each option leads to a gruesome demise. Choose red and your blood will be spilled as he flays your flesh or tears the very spine from your body. But if you opt for blue, then his icy hands will squeeze the life from your throat until your face turns that same shade. And don't think you can outsmart him by choosing another color, because for those who try are dragged down to the depths of the underworld by his unseen hands. Basically, it's a game of no winners, leaving only one option: flee without wiping and pray that you escape unscathed. Now, while these tales may entertain high schoolers and thrill seekers, nobody truly believes them. Well, until they find themselves alone in a bathroom at night, faced with the chilling possibility that maybe, just maybe, Amamanto really does exist. But hidden in the shadows of Japanese public bathrooms, there lurks a twisted and real unsettling presence called Peeping Toms. Now, although efforts have been made to improve the safety, these monsters still roam the streets, preying on unsuspecting women. I mean, in the not-so-distant past, Japan was plagued by these vile men who would follow, grab, and take photos of women while peering through the bathroom pipes. And that brings us to today's story. On one fateful night on February 28th in 1989, Yuma Tanka, a female school teacher, innocently stepped into the bathroom. And when she went into the bathroom, they had these little toilets that were called squat toilets, a primitive contraption with a U-shaped septic tank. Unbeknownst to her at the time, one of the ends was connected to the toilet inside, while the other led to the outside world, providing an easy viewing spot for any lurking peeping Tom. With a sudden and violent suction, the contents of the squat toilet were abruptly sucked into a machine with a deafening roar when emptied. Yuma kinda just had this feeling about it, and after she did her business, she cautiously peered down into the empty hole, only to find something that was completely unexpected. Nestled deep within the depths of the toilet was a leather shoe, an odd and unsettling sight in this simple rural village. But her confusion quickly turned to horror as she opened the concrete lid outside of the septic tank, only to discover that it's already been slightly ajar and open. So with trembling hands at this point, she just gazed down into the dark pit and saw something that literally made her blood run cold. The body of Naoki Kano, a young man from the village who worked at the power plant, lay there, contorted and lifeless in a pool of human waste, his frozen form forever trapped in this foul and twisted grave. And the autopsy revealed a horrifying truth. Naoki had been dead for 2 days, pressure on his chest and the brutal cold had claimed his life in this cruel combination. Now, the investigators were stunned by the bizarre scene that they found. Naoki's body, bare and exposed to the elements, was curled up in the fetal position with his head eerily positioned under the squat toilet. And despite these frigid temperatures, his shirt lay neatly folded atop his motionless form. Why is it with all these unsolved mysteries we find clothes that are folded perfectly either on the person or beside them? Somebody answer me right now in the comment. Yuma's heart raced at this point as she realized that one of Naoki's shoes was actually pressed against his face, the same one that she had saw earlier. And to make things even more unsettling and perhaps sinister, the other shoe was discovered miles away, resting at the bottom of a riverbed. So it was clear that something sinister and inexplicable had taken his life. You see, his car was found right next parked to the bathroom, keys still in the ignition and the doors unlocked. The case, though, was quickly closed by the authorities, who concluded that Naoki had squeezed into this pipe to watch women using the bathroom and indulging in their waste. But such claims were met with tremendous outrage by Naoki's loved ones. He was known for being a reputable, moral member of the society. I mean, he often went out of his way to help locals with odd jobs and personal issues, and he held a prominent role as the Minister of Entertainment and Activities at the local youth club, serving as a positive influence on all of its members. So it was 100% difficult to believe that such a bright and kind person could meet his end in such a shameful and senseless way. Many believed that Naoki had been the victim of a horrible crime. So, over 4,300 local residents signed a petition pleading for Naoki's case to be reopened. But for some reason, their requests were denied by the authorities. You see, the autopsy results only showed minor scrapes on Naoki's knees and elbows, with no evidence to suggest that he had been forced into the pipe. So there were two possible scenarios here. Either Naoki had willingly entered the pipe for his own desire, or someone else had put him in there against his will. However, certain pieces of evidence suggested foul play. In fact, there were several signs that pointed towards murder. Firstly, the pipe that he was trapped in was extremely narrow. Naoki's shoulders measured 16 inches across, but the pipe that he climbed into was only 14 inches in diameter. I mean, the recovery team struggled to extract his body, and they had to destroy the entire pipe in order just to free him. So I guess as Naoki maneuvered himself into the pipe with his face facing upwards, he must have realized that there was no way for him to escape. He couldn't fit past the ceramic toilet bowl ahead, and he couldn't possibly go backwards or try to crawl and get out. Do you think he really put himself in such a dangerous situation just for a thrill? Because even if he did, the dim lighting in that bathroom would have made it almost impossible to see anything anyway. Secondly, his missing shoes being found so far from the body was the first strange detail in this puzzle. I mean, why would Naoki have tossed one of his shoes into a river so far from his intended destination and then crawled into the pipe with his other shoe in his hand? Additionally, it didn't seem possible for him to neatly fold his shirt while stuck in such a confined space. So I guess he must have folded it before entering. But then why remove it at all if it was so cold? Why was he trying to keep it clean? And if he was trying to keep it clean, why not just leave it outside? Lastly, the cause of death being hypothermia was extremely unusual. You see, most people who have fallen or crawled into septic tanks in the past either drowned or were killed from inhaling the toxic fumes. I mean, there seem to be more questions than answers in this mysterious case. And it is unclear how much waste was in that pipe at the time, but the fumes would have been strong enough to quickly end Naoki's life. And Yuma, the woman who discovered Naoki's body, was actually a close friend of his. And on weekends, when she visited relatives outside the village, Naoki would have been familiar with her absence from her dorm. I mean, that means that he must have known that Yuma was never there on the weekends. So if Naoki was so desperate to puppeteer, why did he hide in her bathroom pipe for 2 whole days while she was gone? It didn't make any sense that he would willingly subject himself to such discomfort and danger. Some began to wonder if someone else had forced Naoki into the pipe, and then they questioned who and why. Well, there's actual multiple theories surrounding this incident. And just before it occurred, Naoki's village had an election for mayor. Stay with me here. One of the candidates was a man named Tamashiro, who Naoki had initially liked and supported. However, he soon found out that Tamashiro was corrupt and had been buying votes from nearby villages to secure his victory. Despite the tactic being successful because Tamashiro got elected, after that Naoki was outraged and immediately distanced himself from Tamashiro. And then on February 23rd, just 5 days before his body was discovered, Naoki performed with his punk band at a local eatery. Because he was known for being outspoken, and actually during the show he was fueled with anger. He aggressively just played the guitar and sang lyrics that mocked and criticized the villagers for allowing themselves to be so easily manipulated. And at that point, a heated argument erupted. And it was between Naoki and a group of men from the youth club who were loyal to Tamashiro. And even though Naoki was seen as the leader in the club, someone to look up to and to emulate, but now he had betrayed their trust and sided with Tamashiro's accusers. Even though Tamashiro was corrupt, but the rest of the village seemed to not know that. But according to witnesses, these men followed Naoki to his car, and it's possible that they actually forced him in it, drove him to the septic tank, knocked him out unconscious, and stuffed him inside while he was still alive. And as Naoki regained consciousness, he found himself trapped in the cold and dark pipe, unable to escape. Did this all happen on purpose? Was it a ploy to get rid of Naoki and frame him as a Peeping Tom with a motive to spy on his friend Yuma? Or perhaps, without going that deep, it was just a prank gone wrong, with, no intention of killing him, but ending up trapping him in a pipe nonetheless. Not to mention, the police handling of the case was nothing short of a barbaric massacre, carelessly mishandling Naoki's remains and obliterating any crucial evidence in the process. Oh, and by the way, the suspicious coroner who dared to examine the body met a convenient demise, conveniently resigning from his position after declaring that there was no foul play involved. So it's possible when we connect the dots, we realize that the mayor might have pulled some strings to protect his young group members, ordering the authorities then to dispose of any incriminating evidence. But what could drive these men to commit such a heinous act? Perhaps it was over that trivial dispute, because on the other hand, it seems implausible that Naoki himself would willingly crawl into a horrid pipe by himself. There's other rumors online that swirl about Naoki being silenced by the energy plant that he actually worked for learning their sinister secrets, but without any concrete proof, these just remain as rumors. Regardless of the truth, one thing is certain: Naoki suffered an unimaginable fate, trapped in a frigid, cramped pipe, immobile, and drenched in human waste. So some think he did it on his own, but the majority of others believe that he was forced into it. I want to know what you think actually happened in the comments right now. And that's all I got for you guys today. I hope you enjoyed this unsolved mystery, and if you want to watch more unsolved mysteries, definitely click this one right here. Pretty sure you're gonna love it.